Okay, so all right, so let's talk about um, some rules that govern inequalities as far as absolute value goes. Now, guys, if you have, I'm gonna use a little bit different letters than what was given. Okay, so guys, if you were here yesterday, you might be a good idea to add these to your notes. Okay, uh, Tyler, you sit behind Brooke. Yeah. All right. Now, if you're sim now guys, what it is what you're looking for is when you have your absolute value alone, okay, and you have less than equal to, okay, we're gonna call this C. This is a number for, I haven't seen it, she's not here. Mhm. All right, if it's less than equal to, then your answer, now guys, on all these, C has to be greater than zero. Okay, make sure you understand it. Your constant has to be greater than zero. Your answer is going to look like, let me erase that right there. Let me zoom in on a little bit. Charlie, what you doing here? Okay. All right. So now your answer will look like this. It'll have your you'll have whatever's left inside of your inequality. I mean your absolute value. It'll look like this. Okay. And then eventually it will look like this. Because you're gonna have to get C by itself, right? I mean get X by itself. Okay. Now, if it's just not less than equal to, but less than, it's still going to look basically the same. It's going to be, won't have it equal to. And after you solve it back down, it'll be, okay. This is what it'll look like when you start. This is what it'll look like when it's finished. Okay, now, what about greater than? And you'll see why I'm writing these rules. The answer looks totally different when it is greater than. If it is greater than, so it's an or statement. It's ax plus b, okay, or so guys, what you have if it's greater than, it's going to look like this. It's going to have ax plus b less than or equal to negative c, or ax plus b greater than or equal to positive c. Okay, and then you'll solve it from there. Okay, and then if it's uh, greater than not equal to, it's going to look pretty much the same, except it's just not got an equal to sign. It's going to be ax plus b. It's got a misprint in the paper right there. Or ax plus b greater than Let's see. So, guys, my advice to you would be when you're doing this, try to make up some kind of some way to memorize this. I mean, you can have a cheat sheet on the test when we take it, but just just know you gotta. If these right here are very very important. Okay, having these rules with you when you do this and on the test is very very important. Okay, now does anybody know what numbers we did yesterday? Right off the top of your head. I mean, I could do them again. I mean, it don't matter. Okay. Okay. Let's do now guys keep these keep the notes handy that I just gave you, okay? Cuz okay, let's see. So all we have is -8 absolute value, -2n minus 7 absolute value plus 4 greater than -36. So guys, already looking at your greater than now remember when you find out which way your answer is going to look, it has to be in this form. It's got to have the absolute value and just a constant. Okay, because guys, this sign may change a couple times. This sign can change as much as twice the direction of it. Okay, now guys, don't forget this -8 is multiplying this absolute value. Do not never add that number or subtract that number. Okay, this number that's in front of your absolute value, never add or subtract it. I'm gonna put that right there. Never add or subtract. Because guys, if you do that, it's just going to mess it up. Okay. Now, so now what we need to do is, guys, this const here just hanging out. We need to get rid of it. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. All right. That gives me -8 absolute value, -2n minus 7 absolute value greater than -40. Okay. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do, remember, we don't never add or subtract this number. Now, this is being multiplied. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So you're going to divide that number right there. All right. I'm going to let you guys write that down. Then I want to make sure we take a minute to explain this. Okay. Now, as always, these will cancel out. Okay. That becomes -2n absolute value minus 7, and this is going to be 5. Now, why did I not put my sign here? Well, we need to talk about something. When you're doing inequalities, going back when you did inequalities in Math 1 and other like Math 8 and stuff, when you divide by a negative number, what happens to the inequality sign? It flips, it switches direction. So now, what we got here is a less than now. Absolute value less than 5. Okay? And the reason why it changed, we divided by a negative number. The reason why it switched is because we divided by a negative number. It went from greater than to less than. Now guys, look at this form here. We got ax plus b absolute value equal to a constant. We got a constant here. So let's look up here. Now make sure you look and see what your sign looks like. It's going this way. That's the top one. Okay. So now what I've got is mine looks like this. My absolute value looks like this because look at it. It's got that absolute value. It's less than and a constant. That's my C value. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set it up just like this. This is what it's going to look like. So let's do that now. So what it's going to be is negative. Now we're going to drop our absolute value bars. Negative 2n minus 7 Okay, so what I did was, guys, the way I set it up, if you look at your rules, I set it up just like the rule told me to. Okay. The guys, these look a little bit intimidating, but they're not that hard. So what you're going to do first, this just think of this as a regular expression. We're going to add 7 to both sides. Okay. Well, we know this will cancel out, right? That cancels. That gives us 2 less than negative 2n less than 12. What's my last step? What is happening here? That's multiplication, right? What's the inverse of multiplication? Division. So you want to divide. But now, what are we dividing by? What kind of number? A negative. So don't forget that because we're getting ready to fix that again. Okay? So what that's going to be is this. It's going to be negative 1. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. Flip that sign the other way. N. Flip that sign the other way. Just sit behind Haley right there for right now. I don't know exactly. Okay. Whatever he wants. I don't care. If you want to sit back, I think I believe that's right. Yeah. All right. Now, guys, so we switched our signs. Now look, is negative 6 smaller than negative 1? Yeah. You need to write it on the left side then. So it's going to be negative 6. Make sure you take your signs the right way. That's your answer. Does anybody want to be shown the calculator way? There is a calculator way to do this. It's really according to how comfortable you are with the calculator. If you're comfortable with it, it's easy. If not, all right. Let me, guys, just be open minded. Don't just shut it out, and don't just shut it out because I mean this could be something that you like and um, and then you'll use it from now on. Because guys, honestly, if you can do it on the calculator, there's very little work to it. Okay. Now, if you turn this on, go to y equals, clear everything out. Okay, you're going to put, now my original equation was this right here. That was my original equation. That's what we got off the paper. Okay. Now, we're not going to put equal to's or greater than or equal to or nothing like that in here. What we're going to do is we're going to put the left side in L1, or excuse me, Y1. So that's going to be negative 8. Now, to get the absolute value, you go math, number, absolute value. Brings up 2 bars like that. Now, that's going to be negative 2x minus 7 plus 4. Okay? Did I have my, make sure that thing didn't take my negative. Yeah, it did. Okay. And guys, if you don't get it and want to learn it, I can sit with you one-on-one and critique everything you're doing to make sure it's right. Now, on the right side, you're going to put this negative 36 in there. Okay, so you're going to put on Y and Y2, you're going to put the right side, which is at negative 36. Okay. Now, guys, notice I don't care about the inequality here until we get to our graph. Now, if you graph it, now there's your absolute value, guys. Anytime you graph an absolute value, it's going to look like a V like that. That's what it's going to look like, either that or this. That's what it's going to look like. Okay. Now, what you're trying to find is you're trying to find where negative 36 and the absolute value line cross. Okay, so now zoom out. So zoom 3. There's your line. Okay, now second trace, option 5. Press up. Now you can't see it because of my number, but my marker is right here. Go to the left intersection. There's your negative 6. Okay, there's your negative 6. All right, now do the same thing again. Second trace, intersect, go over to the right side. Can't see it because of the numbers. It's negative 1. So I got my negative 1. Now, let's see. Now, guys, I'm going to do Z-Box. I'm going to try to draw some, I'm going to try to draw so we can see it better. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I don't know. Okay, that's what I want to see right there. Okay, so here we go. Now, guys, does everybody understand when this absolute value it keeps when it graphs, it keeps going in like a southwest direction and a southeast direction. It keeps going that way. All right. Now, so now what you want to know is you want to know what part of this absolute value function is greater than negative 36 or above y equals negative 36. Now look, if you look at this little part here is below the negative 36 lines. Everybody see that? This is below the negative 36 line. What it wants to know is when is it above the negative 36 line. And the negative 36 line is above is this guy here to here. It goes above it, stays above, and it stays above till you get here, then it goes back below. So what that's saying is, guys, remember this is negative 6, this is negative 1. So what you have, look at this. Remember this was negative 6, this is negative 1. Now, guys, think about it. Just use common sense. Where is it above the line? The two outsides or the inside? When is it above the negative 36 line? Well, you got x values less than negative 6, x values greater than negative 1, or you've got this is the middle region. This is your outside region. Where is the absolute value function above remember, looking at your inequality, they want to know what part of the absolute value function is greater than negative 36 or above negative 36. It's this right here. What x value is that? It's when negative 6, when x is between negative 6 and negative 1. All right? Or like I said, you do it by hand. I mean, get good. I think I would get good at either one. The calculator would probably be less error, but guys, I mean, if you're not comfortable with it, more than likely you might be better off to do it by hand. So, but if you want to learn how to do it on a calculator, I'd be more than happy to go over a couple of problems with you. All right, guys, make sure you keep your notes handy, the ones that I gave you about your answers. Why don't y'all pick one and I'll do it? 5. Okay. So 5. Wait, did you say number 5? You know why? Because I was looking at the 5 in the problem. Crazy. Shh. Don't say nothing. Actually, this right here is going to be a pretty good one here because we're not switching any signs or anything. Guys, let's look at this problem just a minute. Looking at this problem, does it look like we're going to ever switch signs? Do you know how to tell? Do you know how to tell if you're going to switch signs or not? If you ever divide by a negative number, then you will change the sign. You're going to divide this number, that's a positive 7. You're going to divide this number, that's a positive 8. So if you're not dividing by a negative number, the signs will never change. That sign's going to stay exactly the same. All right, now, so what I'm going to do first is subtract 6. That is 7, absolute value of 8v plus 5. Okay, then what do I do with this? Do I add, subtract, divide, or multiply it? Divide it, good. At least you didn't say subtract. Those always cancel out, so that leaves me with the absolute value of 8v plus 5 greater than 11. Now, am I ready to find out what my solution is going to look like? Well, you got to find out before you drop the absolute value, right? All right, looking at this. Does everybody see that this one looks like this one? Does everybody see that? Now, that rule is, it's an OR statement. AX plus B less than negative, it should be less than negative C. That little thing there messed me up. Less than negative C, or AX plus B greater than C. Okay? So now, let's set it up. We're going to drop our absolute value bars. It's going to be 8v plus 5 less than negative 11, or 8v plus 5 greater than positive 11. Guys, how do I know this is an OR statement? How did I know that? By looking at what? The rules. If I look at this sign right here, you go find that sign in your table, and then you look at that particular one and see what it says. And it told me I had to have an OR statement. Okay. Now we're going to solve this. Minus 5. Okay. I'm going to subtract. Do this. I'm a step ahead of myself here. That's 8v equals 6. And divide by 8. That is V equals 6 over 8 becomes what? What does that reduce to? What does 6 over 8 reduce to? 3/4, right? That would be your answer right there, guys. The boxed in part. So it'd be V less than -2 or V greater than 3/4. What's up, bro? Yeah. How many people are starting to get this a little bit? Okay, guys, we just had to keep working problems. I'll work some on the board too. I'm gonna do one more and then I'll let you guys work on them yourself. Y'all, if y'all want to choose one, I'll do it. Nine's a pretty easy one. What about 12? That's a lot of switching. You wanna do 12? So -7, -9. Well, it's not gonna be a whole lot of switching. Okay. What's the first step? You're gonna add 4 first, right? You're gonna add 4. That's -7 absolute value. Oh, that's 84. My fault. It's -84. Let me erase that. Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking for some reason that's 82. I thought it was 78, but that's 84. All right. What's the next step? You got to divide, right? Notice, guys, the steps are the same every time. You want to divide by -7 on both sides. That side always cancels out the sevens or whatever that number is. So that's absolute value -9 plus 3m. Now, what about my sign here? It flips, right? I think you're in the. I think you're behind either Kiever or behind Wallace. Okay. I'm gonna start asking some questions. Ben, why did this sign change right here? Why did that sign flip? You divided by a negative. Good. Now, what's my next step, guys? Yep. You've got your absolute value and you got your constant. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna look over here and see which one of these is the right rule. Now, looking at this, does everybody see that this? Does everybody see that this looks like this? It's got absolute value greater than or equal to, and it's got the constant. So we know that it's going to be an or statement looking like this, like the one on the last one we did. Okay. Now, so I'm going to drop my absolute value bars. -9 plus 3m less than or equal to -12, or -9 plus 3m greater than or equal to +12. All right. We'll solve it. Last but not least, we're going to divide. All right, so that's one of our answers right here. Okay. Now we're going to add 9. I'm going to put this over to the side. 3m greater than equal to is that 19? No, 21. Oh, no. All right. Now divide by 3. All right, guys. So your answer will be m less than equal to -1 or m greater than equal to 7. All right, guys. I'm tired of talking, so I'm gonna let you guys do some. I know y'all probably tired of hearing me talk, so guys, I will post this video on YouTube, so if you want to go back and look at it again, I will post the notes with it as well.